Hey, yo. What's up, man? Jordan, what's going on, man? Good to see you, bro. Give me some dap. Emanuel.
How you doing?
What's up, brother? Nice to see you. Emanuel Wynter in the building. Inside the Tre07 Pod, we are live on Facebook, as always, every single Tuesday. We are here, and let's go. Get up with me.
All right. What's going on, guys? Tre07 reactions. Tre07, just me. This isn't actually a reaction video. What I'm basically doing here is just to explain a little bit. I've been uploading videos you might not be aware of. These are not reactions. These are from a podcast that I had done in my studio about 3 years ago. And I thought it'd be cool if I can just do an introduction, since it's like 3 years old. It's not new content, but it's new to me and new to my guests and stuff, because they have actually never seen this content on YouTube. It's all been on Facebook. It's on Facebook Live. So you can catch Facebook Live. You can go to my Tre07 page on Facebook. And then I also did a Bentley Blue Duck Current Affairs podcast, which I will also share. You'll see some of that stuff too. Anyway, this is the Tre07 Pod, this Tre07 Podcast. It's me. My boy Jordan was doing some of the DJing and commentary over here. He wasn't in the camera shot, or over here. He wasn't in the camera shot. But in the next show, the next part 2 of this, we do a quiz show. He's actually in camera. And then we start incorporating. You'll see the progression of our podcast. It got better and better, and then we got better quality. And then we're at the point now where I'm probably going to continue it with the same quality. And you'll see the progression. I like to see people's progression. So without further ado, like they say, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start it right here again. And just let you know, this was a podcast from 3 years ago. Right here is Tre07 Podcast, singer, songwriter, and a violinist, Emanuel Wynter. He's from Charlotte. I met him. You'll hear the interview. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to upload a couple more. And like I said, I'm going to get this going again to where I can have guests and comedians and artists and musicians come out and hang out and interview with us. And Emanuel Wynter actually plays the violin for us in the next video, part 2. And he plays and sings at the same time. It's really cool. I checked him out. Y'all go check him out. Look him up on Spotify, YouTube. Emanuel Wynter, spelled just that way. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So you guys enjoy the content. Or you guys enjoy the interview, the content. Sorry, people talk like
singer, songwriter, violinist, multi-talented instruments. You're an artist by any standard, right? I met you, though, at the Evening Muse.
Yeah.
And George Bonda, he was on last week. We had George on last week. He played for us and everything. So I understand you might play for us tonight?
Yes.
You're going to play some violin? What'd you bring with you?
I brought my violin, and I'll be doing a song that I want to release pretty soon. It'll be my first release.
Nice. All right. You have music on Spotify?
Not yet.
Not yet. I understand that you have goals for this year, from what I understand, to release an EP. Maybe 5-7 songs. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice. And you're from New York?
Originally, yeah.
Same here. All right. That's what's up. How long you been here in Charlotte? Is this the second place you've lived, or you lived here in other places?
So, when I was young, actually, my family's from Jamaica. So when I was young, I spent time in New York and Jamaica up until when I was about 3.
Like going back and forth?
Yeah, I stayed in New York after that. And I've been there till 2007. When I moved down here, summer 2007. I started the 6th grade.
So how old are you now?
I'm 22, just turned 22.
22? Congrats. Yeah, so my son actually just had a birthday yesterday.
Nice.
Right, so that's Libra. What sign are you?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo? Cool. Tell me,
right at the end, I think.
Tell me a little bit about a Virgo personality. What your personality? What's your personality like?
Me personally, I don't know. I'm a very easygoing person. I generally don't like schedules. All of my days are different.
See, I said we're kind of alike. I read the questions I sent you, and I was like, oh my God, like I didn't know that at first, but now I was like, that's awesome. Okay, so what's a typical day like for you? Like, what do you, if it's so random, right? What do you love to do like throughout the week?
So throughout the week, I definitely spend some time listening to music, and I try and draw inspiration from the music that I listen to. So I spend a good amount of time listening to music, whether I'm at home, whether I'm driving, getting from one place to another, going to a gig. I'm listening to music on the way.
Right.
So that's one thing. I also like to sit down with my guitar, because I generally write songs on the guitar to sort of get the harmonic structure of everything.
Right.
So I'll sit on my guitar for a good while, just putting different things together, trying to figure out what I want to do. Strumming.
Yeah. That's how I create. I start with the drums, but yeah, I can feel, because I generally put together hip hop music mixed with some rock. Yeah. Right. So I start with the drums, and then I'll find the rhythm with the guitar over the top of those drums, and then layer, sounds and whatnots. But cool. So so you play fluently guitar? Do you know chords and all that?
Yeah.
I don't.
I tried to take lessons.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. It was like 9th grade. My grandparents signed me up for it.
Yeah.
Power team, because I could not. No.
Well,
I had lessons when I was little. My dad likes to joke that my mom sent me to get lessons, and then one week my mom told me oh no, the guy's on vacation, and I never went back.
Oh,
and
no.
so my dad, they're divorced. So you know how parents sometimes parents like that act. They be like, oh, yeah, right. Your mom's just fucking with you. Maybe she couldn't afford it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what really happened. She made something up. But I tried taking guitar lessons. I know bar chords. I know power chords.
Yeah.
And I know rhythms. I'm the type of artist that a lot of traditionally taught artists are I don't really play by ear. I know a lot of shit. And I'll be I don't know a lot of shit, but I just play by ear. I can hear a note. Just play it.
I think being able to play by ear is important. I happen to know a lot of shit, but
yeah. I'd love to know a lot of shit.
But yeah, I would say playing by ear is that's your soul. You feel it. And you might not know what it is, but you're able to sort of use your ear to, convey what you want to convey. And that's important to be able to do. And some of the people who might have the theory knowledge, they might not be as good as, the expression part of it.
In that area, yeah. And even I see it a lot in my own life is that being an artist, I'm not good in the business aspect of it. I could probably try real hard on that weakness, or just be really good at being my artist self, and then eventually somebody will structure me together and put me, you know what I mean? Not eventually, but I'll meet people that I think would be able to help me counterbalance those weaknesses, or in my opinion they're not weaknesses, because it's if I try to get in my other mind, I lose the creative. Mm-hmm. If you try to analyze yourself, well, what if you sat back and tried to analyze what you were playing rather than just playing it? I think it come out differently. Yeah.
Yeah, and that resonates with me a lot, by the way.
How so?
I love music. I love playing music. I have so much fun with it. I hate booking gigs. You gotta send out a bunch of emails.
There you go.
I hate writing emails.
Yeah.
I wish that I could just have someone to do all that and say, hey, you're playing here next month, and I'm like, cool. I'll prepare for that. But
lift up Jordan real quick. Just talk in this part. Lift it up. Keep going. Yeah. Just feel this relaxed.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
All right,
Yeah.
Cool.
So exactly. Would you say? What was something you hate booking gigs? Do you not like to sell yourself? Do you feel selling yourself is almost going against your creative? That's where I struggle. It's promotion and trying to make myself bigger than I am. I'd be people like me, they like me. I'm not trying to sell myself. But you have to book shows and you have to get places,
true.
Right? So how do you balance that?
I feel weird putting myself out there in the promotion aspect, selling yourself to someone aspect. I understand the necessity of it, and knowing that, I will bite the bullet and do it. I might put it off for a little bit, but eventually I'll bite the bullet and I'll work at that. I usually have like phases where, you know, I'll try to book gigs for a little bit, and I'll chill for a little bit, and I'll try to book gigs again, and I'll chill. I just constantly trying to do that would stress me out.
Right. Yeah. I do the same thing in booking guests. Like, you know, I'll have to. I don't even have to. I love going out, and when I meet people, it's like, hey, you should come. I'll even meet like somebody like at Dunkin' Donuts and be like, what do you do? Do you do anything extraordinary? Like, do you do anything outside of Dunkin' Donuts? Because the thing about this is like I want it's ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Like,
yeah,
and we all have regular jobs, right? Or you're now. You said, this is your career.
Yeah, it's my career.
And that you're nice.
Yeah, it's. I still feel like it's in the beginning ages, you know, and I have sort of visions of where I would like to be, and I'm not there yet. And I'm pretty sure when I get there, I'll have new visions. But yeah, you know, I'm new to it. I'm trying to do what I can. I want to take it as far as I can. I love it, so.
So I saw you mentioned now, apart from music, you consider it more of a profession. Right, you said, I'm really interested in railroading.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That struck me, too, because right, I'm a Lego person. Right, I grew up playing... Look,
I love Legos.
These are all Legos. All that. We're sorting them by color, like, just because that's what we do, right? But look at that. I have an entire train set. Legos. It moves, lights, forward, backwards. It's got the... It's got the hauling part. It's got the tracks, the car. Bro, it's awesome. But, so, you say you love trains growing up? Trains? You went to the train stations when you were younger?
Yeah, so when I was younger, this is still in New York, and I even continued to make my mom do it when we moved down here.
Yeah.
But in New York, there's a lot of trains. There's a subway.
I live right next to a train.
Metro North.
Yeah.
All the Amtrak, New Jersey, all that
all
stuff. So
over. Yeah, Metro.
I would drag my mother and be like, "Hey, I want to see a Metro North train today." And I'd make her take me to the station.
Yeah.
And we'd just sit there and hang out together and watch trains pass by.
Do you draw any inspiration from those moments to your music? Have you wrote a song about it, or had a nostalgic feeling of watching the trains, or they flying by, and maybe you got that like idea to write a song about it?
I definitely have nostalgic feelings about those moments. I haven't written about it yet, but
I could feel. With you telling me that.
That would be pretty dope.
Yeah, you're telling me that. I feel like the wind from the train right now. Like I feel like going into Queens and seeing my aunt, and there's like a Chinese restaurant over there, and then the trains are coming, and you're like,
yeah, or even if you can remember like personalities of different people that you remember, and you can kind of like piece together like some kind of story connected to each person that you've witnessed there. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
because where a lot of people kind of sit down and don't really look at anybody on the train. I'm the type of person that I get on the train and I'm like, oh. Hey, what's up?
Exactly.
Hey,
yes,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you writing a book? Oh, okay, I'll leave you alone. And I want to see what's going on.
I usually look out the window.
Really?
I like seeing things pass by. It's like one continuous film reel.
Yeah. My buddy I met played drums. He said that's how he learned how to play drums. He was not allowed music when he was younger because he was in religion and stuff like that in the church. But he would look out the window and count the lines in the road because they're even, and he would learn beats that way. Even like the power lines are evenly separated, so he'd be like, boom. I was like, yo, that's so ill. Like, that's crazy. He was like, yeah. So I knew I wanted to play drums. My parents wouldn't let me, so I just kind of played drums in my head till I was allowed to.
That's wow.
Yeah. So other instruments. What other instruments do you get into?
So I started violin in the first grade, and I did that for a couple of years, and then I picked up piano. Piano was the next instrument I picked up, and I picked it up simply because I heard songs and I wanted to learn. So yeah, I taught myself on the piano, and then in high school I picked up the guitar, and I did a guitar class in high school, like 2 semesters of that, and that really kick-started everything else that I learned on guitar. Because I took that and then I was like, all right, what can I build off of that?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would want to learn, my daughter's trying piano right now. I got like the chords there for her and labeled the keys. Piano, it tells everything. I mean, it's a notes everywhere else. You know, like I think that's the and I didn't do that. I think I started with like a rock guitar. My mom, remember the house at the train I used to, that I was telling you about the train?
Yeah.
That thing would come by like 4 in the morning. Right next to our house, like the whole place would shake. I got my first rock guitar there. It's like a shorter red guitar, and then so yeah, piano. I always wanted to learn, and you self-taught.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That is so cool. Have you ever played? My daughter started playing saxophone. You ever play any wind instruments?
So in high school, I did a couple semesters of band. Right, I played saxophone too, and I didn't stick with it. I wish I did.
Yeah.
Because now I miss the saxophone, and I want to learn trumpet. But you know that's something I'll have on my to-do list.
I just want to master what I already have dabbled in, like my life story. That right there, that with that line I said just now, that's my whole life right now. That's where I feel. I want to master like the bass and guitar and the drums. Like I got some little electronic drums over there. You see them?
Yeah.
Dude, they're awesome. Yeah. You ever play drums?
No, I wish I could.
No? Yeah.
I wish I could. I mean, and I haven't spent much time toying with them, but like I'll go to Sam Ash, and you know they have electronic drum set with headphones, so I'm not bothering anybody. And then, you know, I try and hit everything. I try and like do a simple rhythm. And it's a very engaging instrument to play because you're using your whole body, and it's foreign to me. It's weird.
You got to separate. Not only do you have to go left to right, but then you got to go arm to leg.
Yes.
So it's like I can hit my left leg here, my right arm here, and then I got to find something to do with this thing.
It's crazy.
Like it took me a while to learn basics, and I'm still not good, but I love drums. I think my dad said he used to play the pots and pans in the kitchen. So I think I had a calling for drums, but I didn't like pursue it. But yeah, let me see what else. You said the end of last year. I want to get into your singing. Like you just started recently singing. You said.
Yeah. So growing up in school, you know. That chorus class in school, and I would sing in chorus. At the time, you know, a little kid, you know, singing in chorus isn't cool. So I didn't follow that, you know. And if I had, you know, I probably would have been further along singing wise than I am now. But I did that. It was done, and I didn't think about singing at all. And then I started playing out, and I was the dude with the violin, and people had me like as a part of their projects, and in their bands, and you know, I was just inspired by all the people that I got to work with, who you know write their own music and perform it and sing it, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do, but I was afraid to do it, you know.
Right.
I didn't think that I could sing, and it took people being very encouraging and you know egging me on for me to you know completely you know dive into it, but I wasn't confident. So if I had stuck with it from when I was a kid, I would have been more confident, but I wasn't confident singing at all. And the band that I play in, 9 Day Trip.
9 Day Trip. That's a cool name.
It is a cool name.
Nice.
Toward the end of last year,
yeah.
They started to set up 2 microphones for the 2 other guys, Chad and Shelby, who were singing. They started just setting up a microphone for me, and then you know I started to ease into it that way.
Okay, that's cool.
So,
yeah. So, what do you like singing? Do you do both? I'm trying to remember your set. Do you do the violin and then kind of come off and then sing a little bit?
Yeah. So it's like.
And you have a track that you play.
Yeah, I have a track that I play over, so that I can get the harmonies of the song together.
Right.
Because I do want to focus on the fact that I play the violin.
Right. Right. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
It's not a mainstream thing, and then if you can incorporate some singing in between, like that's like such a multi-talent. That's like if I can sing and drum at the same time. Yeah, like
that's cool. I always my ears perk up when I see people do that because you don't see it often.
No, because when you're in a band, like the singer is the singer. He doesn't really do much. I'm not saying he doesn't do much writing, performing. Like that's his. But then you see a singer with a guitar or a singer with a bass, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yes,
yeah.
Phil Collins played the drums and played and sung at the same time. That was cool. Like that's interesting. So then you could headline. You'd be the singer, but you're also hitting your violin and just making different. That's really cool.
That's the idea. And right now I'm performing with tracks, but in the future I'd love to get a band together.
So I was asking. So the band you're in now, that's not your band, but it's the band you're playing with.
Yeah.
So they don't play your music.
They play. So the two guys in there, Chad and Shelby, they knew each other from when they were young, like 5 years old. And they've written songs together. So we're playing their music.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. So are there other types of instruments in the band?
Yeah, so it's a 5-piece band. Shelby's on the acoustic guitar. Chad is on electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Moore is on the bass. And Antonio is on the drums.
And then you throw the violin in there.
Yeah. And
so you get down, like you
can
you thrash, like
yeah.
can you really?
We do. We get out there. We have a lot of fun.
Nice.
That's also like an original project. So there's a lot of original music, but we'll cover Pink Floyd. We'll cover Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Grateful Dead. Yeah.
What's the band called?
9 Day Trip.
9 Day Trip. Okay.
Like is it like a driving trip? Maybe it was only the night and it felt like 9 days. That's awesome.
That was a hell of a trip.
I dig it. Let's see. Spence. So recording at home is a thing that you're trying out now, right?
Yeah.
All right. What software do you use?
So I'm using FL Studios. And
nice. That's right. That's what I use. Yeah. That's where I started.
I got the demo way back in middle school. I heard about it, and when I started taking my stuff seriously, I tried to I bought Pro Tools and spent a month on a year-long subscription, and that didn't happen. Nothing happened there.
That thing doesn't interest me.
So
much. It's so much.
Me personally, I like Logic and like GarageBand.
I haven't tried Logic, and I would try it.
GarageBand is awesome, though.
GarageBand, I've heard, is pretty dope.
Instruments is awesome software to input the instruments into.
I'm old school. I'm still recording. I'm in Audition, which is kind of like Cool Edit, but I just do track to track. Like I don't even have I record the drums first, then I'll record over that, and I play full songs. Like I should get updated, but that's what I do.
No, man, the old stuff sometimes is like great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of things are going back to analog now. My cousin's My cousin's got like a record player and some
I got one at the house.
Synthesizers and shit. I got records over there. I got a record player over there. We should get together and dig sometime.
Hey man, I'll bring
what
my
up,
stuff over here.
DJ. What do you call yourself?
Sauce Laurent.
Sauce Laurent. You gotta follow this man on Instagram. Sauce.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, you said you like to go to food spots. So, first, what places have you been gigging? Where you've gone and done an actual like show, and that you're doing this for a living, right? So, where are you going, and what places, cities?
So, apart from playing in the Charlotte area, I've played in Greensboro. I play in Greensboro quite a bit. I make that drive up there. I've played in Anderson, South Carolina.
Okay.
And 9 Day Trip, we've been a guest performer at a TV show in Greenville. Good Mood, Good Food.
Oh yeah.
So we went down there.
Did they have the band on the show or playing live?
Yeah, playing live in the studio. It was really fun. Really fun.
Cool. Yeah.
And then we've gone to Ohio, Kentucky, Missouri.
What's one of your favorite places?
So one of my favorite places that's like further away. I'll do 3 hours. So 3 hours to Bristol, Tennessee / Virginia.
Okay.
And I was only able to spend one night there. It was a really cool, really cool town, nice vibe.
Yeah.
I want to go back there, just like visit it.
You should try to shoot for Dallas.
Yeah. Dallas,
Texas. Yeah.
I hear good things about Dallas. I hear good things about Austin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, South by Southwest, man. Yeah, try to go there.
You travel?
I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. I'm originally from Texas, so.
Oh yeah, you're from another country basically. That's like Texas is like its own country. It might as well be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but man, I've never been off the East Coast.
Oh really?
No, not past Tennessee. I've been Florida to New York. You know, I'm from New York, so I made a lot of Florida to New York trips.
Yeah.
And I'm half back to North Carolina.
Okay,
That's what they call us. Right, if you go to Florida and come back, halfway back. So, one of the questions I asked is if you had any, food.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were telling us about the one of your favorite places.
So, favorite places, food-wise. So, when we went to Greenville, that was actually the show that we did. That was actually on my birthday. So I took my girlfriend with me. Yeah, September 21st.
Nice. Okay.
So I took my girlfriend with me, and we went to this really cool spot that makes crepes. I love crepes.
Okay.
So I like that spot.
What kind did you get?
So the one that I got, it had strawberries, whipped cream, and creme brulee.
Mm.
So like they give you creme brulee on the side of the plate, and you get a spoon, you take some off,
A little dollop on there.
yeah, and then put it on with everything and put it all in your mouth. It's so good.
See, I don't mind IHOP crepes when they have like crepes, but
do you like savory crepes or sweeter?
There's a food guy right here.
I prefer sweet, but I haven't really done much savory. So
what's the difference?
Savory, like sometimes you can do crepes with like
eggs and
cheese
and
meats and stuff.
So that'll make it savory?
Yeah.
Will make it sweet?
Well, like
strawberries.
And the more breakfast type.
This is the food guy. He would you say you got a sandwich that you made? You coined?
Oh yeah.
When was the last time you were on here? You were talking about a sandwich that you made.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, P was asking about it. Man.
But yeah, I'm gonna be opening a
sauce. Yeah.
Nice.
He wants to have. What kind of restaurant was it again?
It's just gonna be a fusion like with everything. Whatever
That's cool.
I like.
That's cool that you get to that. You were talking about like different restaurants. Your nostalgia, like you don't just go to the city and play.
Yeah.
Because I've been in that. Yeah. You travel. The show's at 7. You get there at 6. You're setting up. You're doing the show. And you're like, what's the? What'd you experience? Well, we played. You know.
Right.
So that's really cool that you do other stuff.
I try to at least eat. I don't always get to see the towns that I play in as much as I would like to, but I try and get some.
I'd imagine a lot of artists don't get to do that when you're on tour or something. Yeah. Shit. All right. And this hit me too. Where did you imagine you'd be at this moment in your life? And you said as a kid, I wanted to be an architect.
Yeah.
I had wanted to be an architect when I was like, when college started I was like, should I be an artist or an architect? And now I know you can be both.
You can be both.
Mm-hmm. Right, which I'm going to pursue interior architectural design.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of getting into stuff like that, but that's really cool. Like, did you have a thing for math and geometry, like when you were in school?
So, I didn't love math, but I didn't mind it when it was applied to something.
Like architecture.
When it made sense.
So what about architecture, like, drew you to wanting to be an architect?
Well,
Growing up in New York, you see skyscrapers,
all that stuff. There's just a lot around, and you know, I wanted to be a part of, you know, putting that stuff up there. You know, I thought that was really cool. So, yeah.
Had you you visited any of the? When I was in New York, we didn't visit things, right? I had to move to Florida in order to come back, and then we went to the Statue of Liberty and the Twin Towers and the Empire State Building. But when we lived there, bet we didn't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, did you hit all those places? You've been to the Statue of Liberty, and
my mom was really good about exposing me to things.
Nice.
So we do this thing where we called it Special Day, where we would just go out and do something somewhere. Yeah. So one day, spontaneously, we decided to go to the World Trade Center, the old one.
Right, Twin Towers.
Twin Towers. Yeah. And after that, we took the Staten Island ferry out to Staten Island and back. We went to the Empire State Building, and we'd go to Central Park. She'd take me to see a production at the Lincoln Center. You know, so we did stuff.
Yeah, so I was the same way. When I grew up, my aunt would take me to places. I've seen Stomp, I've seen Wizard of Oz, I've seen De La Guardia, I've seen all the shows in the city. And then me and my cousin used to skate in the city. Like, remember the movie Kids? Remember the movie Kids? Look it up, man. Okay. Oh my God. Like, watch Fight Club, because I know you're the second person that's told me they have never seen Fight Club.
I've never seen it.
Just shut the fuck up. Get out. Get out. We're ending. All right, the show's over. Thanks for having us. Thanks for being here. Fight Club. What else? What was I just saying? Kids, man. It's about these kids who grew up in New York City. And anyway, me and my cousin used to skateboard around the city. People watch Central Park. Like, we were the kids that, like, had some freedom. We were allowed to go do stuff. Like, I don't know how parents are now, but, like, were you allowed to go out into the city and just explore?
At the age that I was there, my mom wasn't comfortable.
Not yet. Yeah, we didn't do that till we were older, but...
Yeah.
11, 12, 13.
Yeah. I moved down here and then turned 11.
You moved to Charlotte?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What high school did
I was
you go
10
to?
when I moved. What high school?
Yeah.
I went to North Met.
Okay.
Right down the road from here.
I was supposed to go to North Met.
West Met.
West, I went to East. Yeah, what up? What up? Went to South Side. Adam's like, South Side? South Side. That's cool. I was supposed to go to North Met. I went to East, but I drove a half. My parents moved from Charlotte to Davidson, and I didn't want to switch schools, so I just kept driving from Lake Norman downtown every day. I missed first and second period every day.
That's rough.
I know. I can't believe I did. I should have just went to North Met, but I don't think I would have been. I don't know. I just did.
North Met's pretty dope, I heard.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know back then. But...
Yeah, my thought about it, I know a lot of people that went to North Met. It was probably stupid of me to think, but I was like, no, I want to hang out with people in Charlotte. I don't want to go to North Met. It's like a bunch of like kind of country people, like, you know, like I don't like it was up in this area before it was even built. Like, it was '96. Like, I'm old. I'm old, y'all.
That changes everything,
I'm
right?
old, y'all. Like, North Met in '96 was like, I knew dudes with like big trucks and shit. They're still around, you know what I'm saying? But then we used to go out in the woods and fucking get down, like, drink beer. It's like, you know, like, it was like that. And I was like, I mean, I like these dudes, but I don't want to be around all that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but it was fun, man. I got a lot of good stuff out of Charlotte, man. But so are you a Panthers fan?
Excuse me?
Are you a Panthers fan? Are you a sports fan at all?
No. Yeah. I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, you stayed New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't dislike the Panthers.
Right.
But I'm a Giants fan.
I was originally a Giants fan from New York. My family moved to Florida. I never liked the Bucks, and then I live here since '96. So I feel like I'm a Panthers fan. I don't know if they play the Giants. Who do I root for?
They played them a couple weeks
not
ago.
Really. Yeah, who won?
The Panthers won. The Giants are terrible.
Terrible. They're like 1-6.
1-6.
Oh my God! I don't even watch sports.
I keep watching the games.
I don't even watch NFL, but
I keep watching the games and I keep getting upset. And you know, it is what it is.
I had a vision last night, something about the Panthers, and I was sorting out my NFL fidget spinners because I sell these and give them away to people. But I was like, some of the two fidget spinners I had left were like the Panthers and somebody else. I was like, maybe they're gonna play in the. I think the Panthers have a good shot at the World Series, the Super Bowl. I was gonna say division series. So I don't follow like much, but I still see news. But I think I don't know. This might be their year. Who knows?
I wasn't really thinking that.
Yeah,
I was.
No, I don't. That's why I don't follow.
Let's go and have faith.
The Rams are looking really good this year, though.
Yeah.
The Rams are looking.
Yeah, they are. They look pretty good.
You watch a little football?
Every now and then, but I'm a Steelers fan, so
Steelers.
Of course, I want them to win.
I only have one Steelers fidget spinner left.
I'm not that big of a fan.
Yeah. I don't need a fidget spinner for that. All right, so if you had your success now, you're young, but if you up to now, if you could share some keys to success that you might think people would appreciate.
Yeah.
I see you have them here, but go ahead.
So everybody's gonna say this, but and I'm gonna say it too because it's very important. But working on your craft is very important. You need to be proficient in the skills of what you're doing in order to be able to be successful in it. And you see people who are successful, and it's glamorous, it's awesome, and you want that, and what you don't see is the work that they put into it.
Right.
So it's important to spend some time on your craft.
And how do you do that? What do you? I mean, aside from just being home and working on like strumming the guitar and doing that, like what other avenues are there for people to just work on yourself, but also get out there and promote yourself and whatnot?
Well, one thing I did when I had finished writing my first couple of songs was I would go to open mics and practice singing them to people. I mean, I was singing them to people, but
it was
it was sort of a practice. I was testing it out to see if the product that I had that I thought was good, is it really good? Is it as good as I think it is? You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you won't know until you get it to other people and they react to it.
Right.
So I spent a lot of time doing open mics. Me personally, working on my craft, you can learning songs is I think it's important.
Like covers or other songs, just melodies and
learning other songs. It's sort of like, people say in order to... Oh, my phone died. In order to...
You're good. We'll take a break here in a little bit, but...
Yeah. In order to, be proficient in English, you got to read.
Right.
Because when you read, you see English, and you, from looking at it, you get to see
even though it's not your words. Yeah.
Even though it's not your words, you can see how the language is put together.
Yeah, like in chess, in order to be a chess master, you have to watch games. You can't just play and say, I'm a master. There is actually a requirement for you to watch a certain number of games. And it's like over 1 million.
Wow.
You have to play and watch at the same time to become a master.
Well,
I heard a master chess.
I heard somewhere that said, people that watch the things that they do are better at it. So, like, if you're a basketball player, and you watch basketball, the basketball players who watch basketball, they're better at it.
So you're saying all the home commentary people are badass sports people? The guy on the couch.
It's more of watching.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Gameplay watch and like really study. Yeah. I used to do a lot of hip hop open mics, and so it was a lot of practice. It was like just getting used to the mic, knowing my sound, knowing how to talk to the DJ. Yeah, you got to work out a lot of kinks.
You do. You do.
No doubt. So now that you still do open mics now that you're doing shows?
Yeah.
So what's the purpose? Why would you do that if you already...
Well, so I sort of have the shows that I do and the open mic separated. So for the shows that I do, I'm playing with 9 Day Trip. I'm playing with... There's another group I'm playing called Sticks and Stones. I play with other people in the Charlotte area as well. So I do that. I do solo gigs where I do like violin covers.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear it. Yeah.
And the open mics that I've been doing are for my original music.
Nice. Okay.
That I'm testing it out. Working the kinks out, getting comfortable singing them to people, and then when I'm ready, I'm gonna roll my music, my original music out as a product for people. Nice. And then that will be its own thing.
Right, nice. And I've recently joined the comedy scene, and it's like that. I recently spoke with a friend of mine who's like, yeah, I'm gonna do my new material over here, and then I'll go ahead and hit this other place and do like my set. So he can like bring the new material into the set if he needs to, right? Yeah. But try the new material out amongst friends. Yeah. And then do the set amongst new people. So we'll hit different open mics. I'm like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I know Chance the Rapper, he was sort of doing something like that. He was still like doing open mics and stuff, even though he still had headlines and stuff.
Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle. Chris Rock goes to smaller comedy venues and just sits in the audience and will like say stuff out loud and write it down if it worked or not. You know, like I was like, that's cool. He'll go to other venues and just hang out, and it'd be like a guest appearance too, because people are like, oh my God, he's here, and he just sits down. He's like, he'll just have a conversation with the audience and try out jokes, and that's how he writes. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty dope.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like going to comedy shows and stuff. Yeah. So the music community in Charlotte, where I said, how do you engage with your community and why is this important? So the music community in Charlotte, what would you say about it?
I think it's incredible how people pour into each other and they love each other, they support each other. When I was first, playing out in general, before I even started writing my music, I started out with open mics, and I did them as often as I could, and I went around town, and I met a lot of people through it, and I met Shannon Lee. I don't know if you know her, but I went to her open mic, which was at Divine Wine in Valentine.
Okay.
And Shannon knows a lot of people. A lot of people go to her open mic, and I've met people there who've just been really nice to me, and they pulled me in. In fact, the drummer in 9 Day Trip, I met from Shannon's open mic. I'm still playing with him today. And the people in Sticks and Stones, Pat Hulsey and Terry Marie, I met them at that open mic too. So everybody's very, very supportive, very warm, very welcoming. I've gotten together with some of my music friends, and we'll talk about music and critique and share ideas, and it's really nice to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've been inspired by a lot of different artists and just meeting people around, and I try to get around to every different type of place. Like I could be into heavy metal, rock, hip hop, or comedy, or this or that. I can go to like a nice jazz place and check it out. But I love interacting and mingling with different people. And George being on here last week.
I love George.
Oh my God, he was first off impressed with all the toys. He's like, oh, because I'm like a fidget. He's like, oh my God. And like he was, and then he played for us, and it's just really cool. You're right. Like any place I've gone, it's been embraced, and like you're like, oh, it's so cool. Like just enjoy the scene, and I think Charlotte has a lot to offer. I think it's kind of like, I don't know. I've been here since '96, but I still think it's kind of young, like in growing for its scene. So I don't know. I think we're gonna take a break here, and then come back and do the quiz show, because I wanna get into that. But before we do that, you had work on your craft and talents, right?
Yes.
I didn't mean to cut us off for that one, but we just get into talking, right? Patience and preparedness. Mm-hmm. For what would you say? Patience, like you're speaking.
So, patience and preparedness. I say that because sometimes where you are is not where you want to be, and it will not necessarily be helpful to put yourself in a situation that is beyond you at the moment. You don't want to put yourself in a situation that you're not prepared to handle. Right. Because it's either going to stress you out the whole time, even if you do like finesse your way out of it and it goes well, it's going to stress you out the whole time. You don't want that.
Yeah.
Or it may reflect on you poorly and hinder your opportunities in the future.
So they kind of go hand in hand. Being patient, but being prepared.
Yeah.
Being patient for the opportunities or whatever it may be, but also being prepared when it comes.
Right.
Because I've been in situations where you'd be like, you're not being patient, but you're not prepared.
Oh yeah.
So like when the blessing or the opportunity presents itself, you're like, shit, I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
If you would just shut up about it and wait for that to happen and be prepared.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah.
Because me, I get in these modes where I get very zealous and I just want to do this and that and all of this, and I have to rein myself in because that particular moment it might not be the time. So
kind of get anxious like that sometimes too. I get all like,
I remember the first time I performed, like I just always wanted to perform, and when it actually happened, they put my name on a flyer. I'm like,
oh really?
This was about to happen. I wasn't prepared at all. I'm like, what am I going? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a good performance.
So I think my first performance was to the hip hop, the hip to the hip, the hop. It was at a karaoke function at the bowling alley.
Oh wow!
Actually, my cousins were all like, "Yo, that was so awesome," and I was like, "All right, cool." Like a karaoke guy. So patient preparedness are crucial. Networking. We also talked about that. Like I love getting out and meeting people. So networking. What's the most important part about networking?
The big thing about networking is, it's very important who you know and who knows you. So you might be great and you might have a great product, but it helps to have people believe in you and believe in your product because they can elevate it and put it on a platform that you may not have been able to get it to yourself.
Gotcha.
So in that sense, networking is very important. Also, I mean, it helps to know people. Like I said before, I wanted to start a band. You need to know people, be able to do that.
Right.
Also, it's also the sense of community that I have. So like, if somebody hits me up and asks me for, hey, do you know a guitarist? I have guitarists I can
call
recommend.
Up. Right. Yeah.
Call up for that, or pianists I can call up for that. And people do that with me. People like, hey, I want a violinist, and my friend will hit me up like saying, hey, this person, I gave them your information because they said they wanted a violinist.
Yeah.
So it's just very helpful.
Absolutely. So people knowing you, that really just struck me. Like, of course it's, you get yourself out there, that's what they call that, right? But not only that, just people that know of you, they're like, oh yeah, he's in the scene, he's been around. Like, I like going places, and not to be seen, but in a sense that like, I like to stay relevant. But even past relevance, I just like to stay in the know. Like, I like to touch places and just be like, oh yeah, I've been there recently. Yeah, that scene's looking pretty good. And I could be a part of many different scenes and just kind of be like, I know Emanuel from over here, man, and I know this guy from over here. And that's where I like to have those different kinds of guests on too, so I can bring all that together and just be like, yo, the comedy scene is interacting with the music scene. And, it's real dope. Inspiration is a fleeting feeling. I've been
it comes
there.
And it goes.
Oh man! So what you said, you hit me. Take advantage of it while it's there. I've tried to force inspiration. Right, when you're not feeling it and you're like, but I just want to create something.
It's so much harder to create something.
Do y'all ever come to the moment where like you're at your job and like you think of the most incredible, creative stuff,
and
then when you go home, you forget it and you're trying to force it, and it's like, what, like?
Yo, I can't tell you the amount of times I was sitting at that desk.
Oh.
And I'd be like thinking of something, waiting for the phone to ring.
Cell phones aren't even allowed.
Yeah, I'd be thinking of something, can't even write nothing down, and then all of a sudden the call comes in, and I'm in the middle of that thought, and it's like boop. I'm like, Thank you for calling Sprint. Can I help you? I lost that whole idea.
Dude, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not only that, like I've gone years without inspiration. Only recently I've started making some other stuff, but it sounded a whole lot different than I used to, so maybe I needed that transition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I had to like purge my system of the old me, creative, whatever I created already, you know, and then totally make a new sound.
Yeah.
So I've done that, but it's fleeting and take advantage of it while it's there. What are places you like to go to get inspiration, or what are things that give you inspiration? People, places, things.
So, I like parking decks. So, on a night like this where it feels nice, you know, I will go to a parking deck, go to the top level where I can see the sky, open up the sky. I can stand up there, look around, see everything, take everything in, and you know, in a moment like that, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So I
like that.
You know.
Parking deck. What about the parking deck of an airport? That's got to be like a double inspiration.
I've never been to the one at the airport, but thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I will try that at some
In my
point
best
in time.
Maui voice. You're welcome. I love that song. Yeah, airport parking deck. I've been there a few times with it. Not only are you here watching the planes, but you're high up too, and you're like, and you're like, it's like, you know, the feeling you get.
I generally go to the ones downtown.
Yeah, down at this. I like
downtown
Charlotte. I like walking around there. It's not like New York.
No, it's not.
Holy crap! You gotta
or Dallas
traffic.
Dallas.
People traffic in New York. It's like you gotta walk through. Charlotte, like there's room to walk.
Yeah.
So you feel like, but New York traffic is just like New York
like
car
New York
traffic.
Is always just lit.
It's just
like moments
you're
in
like,
Charlotte where there's nobody downtown. But I feel like it's just people all the time.
It is.
Yeah.
They didn't have to sleep. It's like it's true.
I want to go so bad. I've never been.
4 in the morning.
I love it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
It's also funny because like the bars, even the music venues that I play at, you know, they'll close at 2 because you have to stop selling alcohol at 2.
Right.
You know, so when you're out, you know, at 2 o'clock, they're like, last call for drinks, go home, whatever. In New York, people will get to the club at 2.
I know you were just about to say that. My girlfriend, she just moved here from Albany last September, and she complains to me every weekend how everything here shuts down at 2. She like gets upset because she's from New York and she just knows that that's pretty much when they start.
I've been living here for 10 years. I get upset. Why it shouldn't be so hard to find somewhere to get food at 10 p.m.
That is very true.
I used to hang out with my cousin up in the city. When I go there, we get White Castle at like 4 in the morning.
White Castle.
I haven't had White Castle for
White
years.
Castle, but I have been there in Michigan.
Belly bombs, that's what they call my dad. That's what my dad would say.
Yo, that Crave case. Oh, smash.
It's so good. I actually haven't had it. You can't get the frozen ones are good. My wife gets those every once in a while, but it's not the same. They had a Crystal Burger in Florida. It's the same. You ever heard of Crystals?
No,
they have
it's a White Castle.
85. Like if you go on 85, like drive like.
Oh, they have
35 minutes. Like right when you get into South Carolina, there's Crystals next to a gas station.
It's just like White Castle.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I see
it's not White Castle.
It's not White Castle. It's something they put in the buns or something. I don't know what it is.
It's like butter. I don't know what it is.
So aside from inspiration, networking,
yes,
patience, and preparedness,
yes,
working on your craft, you've also said set time requirements for your goals.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? Like, give me a goal that you would set a time requirement for.
So, for a long time, after I started playing professionally, I was like, yeah, I want to write music and perform my own music. I was saying that for a while. And, you know, once I had started getting more comfortable with singing, I was like, you know what? I'm doing this next year. Next year, I will make a point to begin to start putting myself out there and writing music and investing in my own sort of thing. And that was a very soft timeline, but I did it this past summer. I started doing my stuff at the Evening News. And it's been well received, and now with that confidence, I want to release my first song to put out, and I want that to be in my first EP. Nice. So I'm gonna have a collection of songs that I'm gonna do. I want to do it spring next year to release the EP.
Do you have the song done already? Are you ready for it? Or I have the creation process?
So I have a few songs that are done.
Nice.
And I'm still working on some more. But
how many songs do you want to do an EP? Like,
I was thinking about 6 or 7.
That's I related to that too. I love that because I have in that box right there. I have 3 EPs that I've done, and then 2 other mixtapes with a hip hop group. But I did the same thing. I did like 7-8 tracks each one, mixed them down, picked the best ones that I wanted. So yeah, that's cool. Get yourself a Spotify account.
That's
Pandora,
yeah,
iTunes, all that.
So I was gonna use CD Baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's what 9 Day Trip used, because we just released a project in February.
They do all that? They put you on Pandora, iTunes,
they'll
Spotify,
do it,
and all that? Okay.
You pay them, I think it costs like $80 to do like an album.
Yeah.
So that's what an EP would be technically.
Yep.
And they'll put it on Spotify, Apple Music,
I think
Amazon.
That's the way to go now. Like singles,
just getting everything out there.
Projects.
Projects. I also met some guys who they were rappers.
Yeah.
I went to Jack Beagle's this summer to their open mic, and they were performing. They were coming up from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they were going on they were trying to drive around and expose themselves to as many cities as they could.
Right.
But they were telling me that you don't need to release a full-length album every time. You know, it's perfectly fine to give everybody like a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here, and build your discography that way.
Yeah, like a little bit at a time. Like over the years, I have about 50 songs that I've done, and I've added them to my Reverb Nation, which is connected to my website. But just a little bit at a time, and then now I have like 2-3 songs on Spotify, and I just kind of let it roll.
I feel like dropping single after single will kind of get old to the fan base, because people probably want to see how you would do as far as a project, because that's a body of work compared to
what about if you release singles and then towards the end of this is what Caskey's been doing. He'll put out a project, he'll announce the project, and he'll release the single, then he'll boom hit a video. Like, this kid's on it. Like, he'll be like, single release, video for that, next single release, video for that, till he gets to the 7 songs, and then all those 7 songs are one project. Then he releases the whole project.
That's what Bruno Major did.
So you're releasing it one at a time, and then you're like, here's all of it.
Yeah, because Bruno's actually, he's one of my favorite artists, and I draw inspiration from him. But what he did in 2017 through 2018, he released a song every month, a single every month.
Yeah.
And then after a year of putting out a single every month, he released the project.
The entire.
Yeah, I kind of like when artists do that too.
That's
sometimes, because sometimes they'll release the singles like not in the order of how it's listed on the album.
Yeah.
And then when you actually listen to the album, like
It
in the
tells a
order
story.
that it's in, it tells a story. Like when the first time I listened to an album, I have to listen to it from like
front to back.
I can't
to see what story you're trying to tell.
Yeah, exactly. Because they spend hours trying to figure out the track listing.
Yeah, you gotta know.
So it makes sense. It makes sense after you like listen to the whole album.
I like how you think about that, because it's true. When I'm putting my EP together, I have a story to tell in a certain way.
Exactly.
Like, it might not. Yeah. Like, even with this song, this new stuff I have, I put it all together without any cuts, just to hear it flow, and then I'll cut it up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to hear where
and that's how Kendrick makes albums.
Oh, that's so dope. Yeah.
It just flows.
Nice. Yeah, like MGK released The Binge, but he put Loco out, and then he had a couple other ones, and they're in different. I dig it. It's like 7 tracks, 9 tracks.
Yeah, I added it to my albums. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, though.
I think it's a fun album, bro. Like, people are like, it's trash, or like, he's not.
I don't
that
never
kind
listen to what people say about albums. It's the same with movies. Like,
I
what
don't always
N-Bun
agree
says.
with it,
Yeah, exactly. Because
from their perspective and their experience, and what's got you thinking about it that way, I gotta see it for myself.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone perceives music differently. Maybe you went through what they went through, and you can relate more to it. Versus someone saying, "Oh, it's trash." That's because you probably don't understand where he's coming from. So.
And a lot of the stuff that people say is hot, I don't like.
Yeah,
exactly.
it goes both ways.
Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt. So what would you say, before we get to this break, if you can go through your life, top 5 musicians, artists, you know, what could you put in there? I could give you mine, and then maybe Jordan can. Jordan, you wanna.
Yeah, sure.
You know. Yeah. Just a summary of
my top 5 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, man. So I'm gonna start with this. Can I like not do it in any particular order?
No. Okay. Tell your story.
Okay. So when I started violin in the 1st grade, and then in high school I was like, you know, I don't have to like only play classical music. And it's beautiful music, it is. But you know, I can do a lot of things with my violin.
That's where it gets interesting.
So at the time I did not know a lot of violinists who were, you know, doing other things. So I drew inspiration from guitarists.
Wow.
Initially. And one of the guys who I really liked was B.B. King.
Oh man.
I just thought that his melodies, his phrasing was just so tasteful and just good, and his music hit me in a strong way.
Nice.
So and I almost got to see him, and then I missed the concert when he came by, and I was like, I'll see him next time, and he passed away.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
I would have loved to see Tupac, just since we're on that right there, but go ahead.
So B.B. King is one of them. And then Gary Clark Jr. came around the same time that I started to, you know, branch out and do other things, and he put out Black and Blue. I really enjoyed that album.
All right.
And the next album he put out, it was also good. You know.
What kind of artist is he?
He does like rock and roll blues type stuff.
Right.
So he's another guitarist that I looked at for inspiration a lot. And then, you know, I like Anthony Hamilton.
Good music, yeah.
I love his music. He's got such a great voice. It's got a lot of character. It's very soulful.
Nice.
And when he's singing, you know, I can feel it.
Yeah, I love that. Goosebumps? You ever have
Goosebumps
moments? I love goosebumps moments, man.
Quite often.
He does. He's from here.
Yeah, he's from here.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Isn't Jodeci from here too? You ever listen to Jodeci?
I don't know if he's from here.
JoJo?
I think they're from Houston.
They had like a play. Oh, I don't know. I always heard that. Maybe like people in high school trying to brag about it. I know where Casey and JoJo live. You know what I'm saying? People knew where Jordan lived, but I doubt it.
It's possible because my aunt is like friends with our woman. She's been here.
I think one of them lived here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I've met people who've met Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah. Here.
A few people.
Yeah.
That know him and met him. So that's cool. I'm just waiting for my turn to meet him.
Right? Yeah. How would you, have you ever met a celebrity?
Yes.
I can't remember if I have or not.
I've met like...
I know I can't really think off the top.
I've met a good number of like musicians, like who are sort of big in the fields that...
Did you talk to them? Like, how did you act?
I talked to them a little bit. In high school, I was in this.
I just thought of somebody that I did meet.
I want to.
In high school, I was in this program called Jazz Arts Initiative. I was in there, and the people who ran that were from New Orleans originally.
All right.
So they knew cats from down there, and they'd have those people come up and give us master classes. Wow. So I met Donald Harrison, plays saxophone. I met Christian Scott, Delfeo Marcellus. I've met Wynton Marcellus.
Oh wow!
So I met a good amount of people just through there alone.
I have no real cool stories. I think I met one or two people, possibly, maybe. I don't know.
I met Kyle.
Who's that?
Really?
Kyle the rapper. Yeah, my homie. He opened up for him, and while we were there before the concert even started, like, cause I was like the hype man.
Yeah.
I was like his side man. So we were in there like freestyling with him and Brick. It was crazy. Yeah. It was at the neighborhood theater over by CPCC.
Nice.
Oh, I met Okay, I went to a concert. I met Stevie Stone.
Okay.
Cool, funny ass stories. I was with a girl, and she was trying to get on the bus, and I was like over there with her, and Stevie Stone was like, "Yeah, no, you can't come on the bus, only her." And I was like, "Yeah, no, fuck that." I like, I got the girl. I was like, "You're not getting on this bus." Like, we were just friends. But at the same time, I was like, "You're not getting on this fucking bus." She said, "But it's Tech Nine," and I'm like, "Fuck no!" Like, that's some stupid shit. No, no, we left. I got into a fight with the chick over it because she was so mad at me that she couldn't get on Tech Nine's. Whatever.
That's a violation. I don't care.
But I was like, hell no. What am I'm gonna be waiting in the car while you're on the bus doing whatever? No, fuck all that. So that time, I met them twice, and they remember me on the second show. "Oh, you're the dude that was here before." And I'm like, "Yeah, same deal." And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Fuck off." Like, I didn't say fuck off. But I'm like, nah, that ain't happening. So you guys are cool piece. I met Ritz. But a funny story about Ritz is he was on a Yellow Wolf tour. And I handed Ritz a CD and told him to give it to Yellow Wolf. That's so lame. Right? I'm thinking about it like, how disrespectful to Ritz. But I didn't know who Ritz was. I was like, yo. Shout out, my bad, Ritz, man. Like, yeah, that was disrespectful. I met Franz from Attila. That was dope. That was fun. But man, I had a question on the tip of my tongue. I wanted to ask you about. Oh, you still working on your top 5?
Yeah, I'm still working on my top 5.
And then we got in. Have you ever met any famous people?
So I got So
you got Anthony Hamilton,
Gary Clark Jr., B.B. King.
Yeah.
Bruno Major.
You've mentioned him.
Even though I just discovered his music like last year.
Yeah.
But it really.
Sometimes you feel something, that you've been. You're like, where was this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just really like his music. I want my music to sort of be like that.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
And yeah, and I got to see him live this summer. He went on tour. He's a cool dude too.
Yeah.
You know, it was at the U Street Music Hall in Washington D.C.
Okay. What were you doing up there?
I had a friend up there who goes to Howard.
Okay.
Nice. So I was visiting him, and Bruno was there at the same time. So
wow, that's cool.
I went to see him, and he stayed after the concert, to meet everybody, and he's cool. I went up to shake his hand. He was like, "Nah, we do hugs."
Whoa, that's crazy, right? Because I was just like, "What up, man?" Yeah. I definitely.
But
cool. That's so cool.
I really like his music. He got a jazz degree.
Yeah.
Started writing songs, so you can hear the jazz in his music.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I would say I like John Mayer too. His songwriting is incredible.
I agree.
And he's a way better guitarist than people give him credit.
I agree. Like, yeah, he plays like he can solo. He can.
This is my first time ever hearing anyone say John Mayer as a favorite artist. I might have to look into
John Mayer's like.
There's so much good stuff beyond like Waiting on the World to Change and Gravity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So much good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. That's a nice list.
Yeah, it is.
You know, when I like lists that it's not the same. Like, I might not even know a few people on your list. I love lists like that when I talk to people, because then they're not in the same, like, because if my list kind of doesn't match yours, that's cool, because I'm like, wow, that's a totally different perspective, right? So, like, I grew up, like, on rock music, and I got into hip-hop, and then I kind of, I can get, like, kind of into R&B and all sorts of different genres. Like, the only one I really don't do is country, but I still have done that a little bit, like, but I can't, Hootie and the Blowfish maybe will go with country. No, just kidding. Yeah. But, so, my inspiration, like, would go from, I want to say Motley Crue was my first, but that's more like my dad's era. So I would go Metallica, Pantera, Tupac, Wu-Tang, and either Amir or Lamb of God. I love Amir though. Like, I love metal and I love hardcore rap. Like, those are my two favorite genres, and I want to blend them and I mix them. But what's funny is that my new music is kind of sound a little southern rock country. Like, it's really weird. Like, I've been in North Carolina and I'm catching like the southern, like, and it's sounding like southern rock, which is crazy because it's country-ish. It's close to country.
Yeah.
Like country rap, almost. I don't know why it sounds like that. It just does. But yeah. So that would inspirational music anyway. Individuals like, you know, I like Albert Einstein. I like some intellectuals. Like, I like George Carlin, Russell Brand, comedians, people like that. Jordan, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
What about you, Jordan? Jordon.
Let's see. So, say Big Sean.
All right.
Okay.
Chance the Rapper. I like Elena Perez a lot. She's pretty fire. Let's see. Kanye.
Yeah, I was a big Ye fan.
Yeah.
Still am now. Not was. I mean.
Yeah. Let's see. Drake.
It's cool, man.
Throw it out there, Drake. Yeah, I'm a Drake fan.
Don't be afraid to say it, man. It's cool. You accepted around here.
That's fine.
Yeah.
As a Drake fan, you cool.
I get
I don't
mixed
judge
feelings
you.
about Drake. It's fine.
We can come in with that topic of conversation. Let's talk about why that's a problem. Like, why are you embarrassed? No, I'm just kidding. So we're gonna take a little break. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Emanuel Wynter, Jordon Brown, Adam, say hey. I think you're gonna be might be peacing out. Yeah. Hey, so we're gonna take a little break. I'm gonna charge our batteries and we're gonna hit the quiz show with Emanuel Wynter. Stay tuned.
Answering Raymond.